all the different, reviews.
All right, so we're running live, 5, 4.
Okay. I call the meeting together of the Charter Review Committee on November 14th, 2025 at 10:11 a.m. Okay, has everybody had an opportunity to look at the updated? Thank you very much for doing that. Oh, sorry, roll call.
All right, roll call. John Cook. Here. Gretchen Buhner.
Here.
Sydney
McCullough.
McCulloch.
Here.
Jennifer Johnson. Here. Viva Geller.
Here.
Bob Kerr.
Here.
All right, we have, Madam, we have a quorum.
Sorry. Okay, again, thank you for doing an updated,
Carefully review it. Probably miss something.
oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's,
I've had a chance to carefully review it.
Okay, so, real quickly, we'll go over, so, there's one section in here that's highlighted yellow.
yes,
This is, kind of what we talked about, last time. Section B is the part that we talked about. And I was trying to figure out how other cities do it. So I went to other cities and kind of looked at it, and they added, construction of a charter, is kind of how they named it. Section A is, how some other cities word it. So, A and B. B is what you guys just wanted. A, I added in there as, if you guys are comfortable with that.
Placeholder.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you guys want to keep that, we can. I need a motion to keep that in there or, to strike it out, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Ronnie, did you hand out a document at the meeting?
No.
No, I emailed it to you all yesterday.
Yesterday, okay. I'll get it.
And he's looking at, page 2, section 2.4, he's added, because we were talking last month, if you remember, about making sure that we have a periodic review of the charter, and that we were talking about doing it every 10 years.
And so the way I wrote it here, it is somewhat broad. It does say 10 years, but it says 10 years after the date, or when the date is published, which is usually 2031.
The year after that.
Yeah, like April or May, somewhere
So
around
if this
there.
goes on the ballot
It would
in
be
November, then it would go into, that 10 years would start January 1, of,
No, but it says 10 years from when the census data comes out.
oh,
Yeah,
excuse me.
so it would be,
So it's
That's-
this would be
2031.
2030.
Yeah,
And then if they're on time, it would be around, April 2031.
okay. Well, that would be actually perfect timing, because by then, I think the town center is gonna have a significant population, and
Yeah, that's kind of,
there's some questions of whether we should, at that point, have districts.
and it gives us almost an extra 6 months, maybe,
To play.
to play. But, because I don't know if we're gonna want to do a review in 2030. Does that make sense? Because by the time this is done, it'd be
No, between 31, no, I mean,
it'd be 2026,
yeah,
into 2026.
Yeah.
And
it would go into effect basically January of 27,
yeah. So
so,
that's kind of why I wrote it that way, if you guys are comfortable with that.
yeah. Well, as I've said, I think we're gonna have to tweak when we get a significant population out there, because we're gonna need to make sure they have some representation.
And then,
So, questions on part A?
pardon me, yeah,
City, did you take this from,
Wilsonville.
okay, and do you know when they updated their charter?
In other words, is this 25, 30 years old, or is it?
That's a great question. I will have to look at that.
I like the part in there, I like the last part about the community home rule and permitting.
Yeah, 'cause that's,
I like that part. Some of the other stuff is
Nice.
wordy to me. It's a good way to say it.
yeah, I mean, there's ways that we can probably shorten it. I would probably ask our attorney to review it.
Okay.
And that way we can keep the home rule, 'cause that was my thought too.
Yeah.
I was looking through this. We don't have a whole lot of home rule
And that's important.
wording in here.
No, I think, yeah, even in.
which falls under state then, if it's not in there.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so they had 87, but they had a couple of other amendments in there too.
Amendments,
But this section, I don't know, but that's, I'll put that in my notes to have the attorney look at it so the attorney is going to look at section 2.4, constructions of the charter, section A.
Yeah.
I move we add 2.4, construction charter A and B,
But that it be reviewed by an attorney before we finalize the wording.
Okay. So John Cook moved.
Any further discussion, guys? Eva?
Nope, sounds good.
Okay. Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. It's unanimous. Okay, thank you for doing this. It's very,
was there another part you were,
Let's see. So on section 4.5 on page 3, I don't know if we motioned on this, but I know we talked about it. Instead of having it one paragraph,
yes,
I
Broke it out.
Yes, resignation or removal, kind of breaking it
Yeah.
out, so it's a little bit easier to read.
having it bullet points. Okay.
yeah,
And then on section,
Have a
no, not on that one, because
we'd already had the same wording in there.
Yeah.
It's just-
yeah.
Yeah,
Section 4.6, on page 4, this is the big one,
Filling vacancies.
oh, the vacancy.
filling the vacancies. So hopefully I caught everything that we talked about, so go ahead and take a look at that real quick.
Mhm.
On A, my question is, we only elect counselors in November.
Yeah, so,
We wouldn't be electing a counselor in May.
You could,
You
if
could.
it's an interim, to fill the interim spot.
so this is my understanding of our conversation from last time, is, we didn't want necessarily a special election, on an off year. But in May and November, we could do an election on an election year. If it was
See, the reason I
more
was,
than 1 year.
because the regular elections are all,
And then I did talk to Dan, and then, the cost per election for, one in November would be about, 4,500. Special one in an off year would be a little bit more, it'd be closer to 5 to 6. So it's not bank breaking, but it does cost the taxpayers money.
well, I was just trying to make sure.
Right.
Mhm.
So, it's kind of up to you. This is, the wording here is what I gathered from our last meeting.
No, I don't have any problem with the wording. I just was asking the question about adding the May. Because, now, I'll tell you why, because Joe Dokes, gets elected in May, his term, or is his term only gonna go till the,
And so it would go, so if he gets elected in May,
How
it
about
would,
term was?
it would finish out that term.
that term,
Term,
so it wouldn't get
Now
some,
that you're saying that, reading this, does that,
it's not clear.
it might be in here somewhere.
I,
I haven't got that far yet. Only read A. A was just calling him interim.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Interim, that's all.
yeah, interim city councilor, yeah.
Hmm. So that one, we're not really defining, if it's an election, we're not defining that it would have to be, right?
well,
If we
now,
did-
see, is there any conflict? I mean, B talks about going to the end of the,
Yeah, so B, so if it's, say, it's 10 months
yeah,
in that term and he resigns, or they resign.
Yeah.
That position will be appointed by the counselors, and that counselor or that interim counselor will finish out that term.
right, okay.
Um,
So A is more for over a year, less over a year.
A is just really defining, the interim city councilor.
Okay, I'm just making
Um,
that John Q. person
yeah, so let me, interim city, what is it?
on this. That's why I'm asking,
So C is when it's
Right.
more than a
yeah.
year.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm asking questions that somebody who doesn't have,
you're good.
I do have a question. Is there a difference between interim and pro tem? Or is it the same?
pro tem,
Terms in the-
Pro tem I thought was only mayor.
that is pro tem mayor.
Okay.
Did I put it in here?
And the council president becomes the pro
Oh,
tem.
I see.
Part D.
Part D, I see.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
So it says during a council member's disability or absence from the city council, a majority of the remaining council members may appoint a member, pro tem to temporarily carry out the duties of the office.
Pro tem is not, that's not for regular.
Yeah, interim instead.
So I think,
Why do we have to?
let me,
We need it for the mayor. to have a pro-
let me go grab my other file with my notes here, and I'll tell you why.
Okay. Really good at stuff like this.
Yeah.
But I'm finding this,
Back on,
I'm kind
I'm
of-
just still stuck on C. I hadn't gotten to D yet.
well, I'm finding this is really hard for a layperson to
Layperson to understand.
understand. That's why I'm asking these. I mean, I understand this, but this is hard.
The reason on C, the reason I sort of got stuck was, it talks about the vacancy should be filled at the next available May or November
Mhm.
election. We sort of talked about that, it's redundant to what A
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
And so it's like,
Okay, we've already talked about that.
Well, do we
A.
need to-
Now, A is just more of a definition of an interim
Yeah.
city councilor, and if we're saying that, that's fine, but and that interim person has the rights or powers, but then maybe we don't say that, I don't know, it's just almost like C is,
Query.
yeah.
Should we say for and then, okay,
It's the interim term continues till its successor
Yeah.
is elected.
Yeah.
It's the last sentence that to me is,
is redundant to what
Yeah.
C is.
yeah, yeah.
So if A didn't have that, it's
Mhm.
already, we're gonna say that same thing in C.
Yeah,
And A is more a definition of what
Yeah.
interim city councilor is.
sometimes I have found if you literally put definitions, it helps John Q. person to understand. So I think we should put the word definitions, for the title there of A.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I can do that, as long as we move the last.
And then,
sentence.
and then.
We either remove it or.
Yeah, we
It's
don't
duplicate with
need
C.
that last sentence in A because it's in C.
It's in C,
The rest
right.
of it,
Yeah,
pardon?
it's in C.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So
Section,
title it definition.
A,
On
just
A,
put definition dash interim city, or,
interim city councilor.
Or you could just write interim city councilor definition.
Well,
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
but I think that'll help John Cubo
And then
understand. And then,
The last
sentence, just take it out. The interim continue, and then take this out. On A, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
And then.
Well, so, or we can say the interim continues until the successor is elected.
Period.
yeah.
It's the mayor to
November to me, that's duplicate part. Because it's still, the definition is, when does the interim end? That's still part of the definition. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
It's just, once we start talking about May or November, to me, that's where we cover that in
Getting
C.
rid of that last,
Mhm.
put the period after success is elected,
period.
and then delete the rest of that sentence.
Yeah. That makes more
Yeah,
sense.
because then you have the continuity with C.
Do you want elected and qualified to serve?
No, this is in A.
I know, but she's taking the last three words of the sentence and keeping those into.
No,
It just, she's removing just May and November.
I think,
Qualified to serve, to me,
To me,
well,
that
we've got
says
that
you're sworn
somewhere
in.
else.
They already have to meet the definition of qualified to serve before we even appointed them.
I
We've got
think
that
qualified to
elsewhere
serve
in the-
means they were sworn in.
Does it? No,
I
Nope.
thought it
Okay.
meant that they were allowed
bag
to
it
be
then.
part.
So it would, so qualification would be, they have to be a resident for 6 months, a qualified elector for 6 months.
And,
so they had to be a citizen,
Voting and all those things, so.
okay, so we're putting a period after successor is elected and deleting the rest of that sentence
yeah,
because that information is in
see.
C.
Okay.
Everybody?
Yep.
Do we want a motion about that?
Well, let's
Or do you want
finish D and
Yeah, let's finish this whole motion. So, and then B, everything's okay in there?
yes.
The only thing is that there's a shall.
Yeah.
Where,
Oh,
yes.
I mean,
They'll be filled,
will be filled.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's gonna be inevitable, we're gonna find those. Or, I'm a shell person, but everybody else isn't.
Okay, and now C,
Yeah, now C works very well with A.
okay, perfect.
The shall.
Then,
Yeah, that's shall.
Yeah, I got a little shout crazy because I forgot to transfer from resolutions to here, so.
A. You have done
So-
remarkable work. Do
Yeah.
not,
Okay.
So I think the questions on D
yeah,
were the word pro tem, okay?
yeah,
And so I think during a council member's disability or absence from the city,
So I guess the question for that is, are we saying they're no longer a city councilor, and therefore we're filling the vacancy? Or somebody says, hey, I'm gonna be gone for a year, but I'm still a councilor, so you're filling that temporarily. Is that what you're trying
I'm
to
not
say here?
comfortable with the
yeah,
whole thing.
I don't like the
I was
whole,
trying to figure out my
Interim.
notes.
Fabulous, yeah.
I
to me,
mean,
you're either
in
leaving the council because you need to resign because you have a disability,
Yeah.
or you're leaving the city, or you're still on, and they just give you a leave of absence. If they give you a leave of absence of 3 months or
Whatever. Then to me, you just are down one member. I don't like appointing another
I
person.
don't think we need,
Here it is. This was from West Lynn, and we talked about vacancies fillings.
Okay,
It says during a counselor's member's disability or service, of the council, or during the member's absence, city majority, same thing.
I see that there.
there was
When I was writing this,
a particular problem in West Lynn
okay.
politics while I was,
So, I had this drawn in here, but I
Right.
had no notes.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if
How
that
much
was,
of that?
if I was only supposed to be doing A, or if I was supposed to be doing,
Yeah, I think
all of it. So that,
I like A, B, we
Yeah.
talked about.
about already.
and see,
I don't think C, which is No, it's of the Westland ones where
Oh.
A, B, and C we're
Oh, I-
talking about.
Wasn't,
Which-
So C we should not do.
yeah.
Yeah, C is R, D.
Oh, okay, I don't think,
D and R's.
I mean, in this day and age, people can have a disability and not be able to come to meetings. But with
Right.
Zoom, it's
We
gonna,
have Zoom now,
it's going to
and we are using it right
yes,
now.
and it's going to make a big difference and remove a lot of,
And then
It
not
also
only,
gets rid of the whole pro tem thing we were worried about.
yeah.
okay, so we'll just scratch this out,
Yep.
because that wasn't clear to me, and I just added it.
Because it was on this one. I
yeah.
get that.
Perfect. And then E,
Well, this is probably in the net, in,
so, this is,
This one's the more important one.
this
Yeah.
is ours, so this is, and ours current one is
Oh,
D, section D, in our current one, and this is the one that you guys said you wanted to keep,
Yeah.
just move it down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, that's
this
what I
is
did.
sort of in a catastrophe when
Right,
multiple
so-
people
So
are,
we got down to one person, and
Yeah.
could they
Mhm.
still
Still appoint people.
Yeah, we've been there, we've done that.
yeah.
So-
I think it's important to leave that one in there.
Okay,
Mhm.
so we will leave that one in there.
And I think going back to the
Robert's Rules discussion we had that one day,
it was important to state things like this in there, otherwise you're not allowed to do it.
correct.
that was more important.
Yes.
Correct. And then I did, on page 5,
Before we leave that,
Oh.
I move that we
make the correction.
make the corrections on 4.6 by removing the shall. We're changing the last sentence, shortening the last sentence in A. We're removing D, and everything else, E moves to D.
And we're adding the word definition in,
And city council definitions in A, so.
That's my motion.
okay.
That was,
Any further discussion on 4.6, the filling vacancies? Reba?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor? Everybody? Okay,
all right. Now to page 5. This is where we broke out the mayor's duties and the president's duties.
right.
I got everything that you all asked for.
Have a numbering question on that?
4.7,
Yeah, because we've got 4.6 was the filling vacancy, we just did that. And then this next section, the duties, oh, that's just section 4 as opposed to 4.6.
4.7, 4.8.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
this is
And then,
out.
and then the numbering, because the way it's done,
Numbering will-
probably won't be official until the very end of the document. And then I'll probably go in and kind of edit and make sure, things line up correctly and it looks nice.
Does anybody have a problem with giving Ronnie the discretion to fix the numbers when we're at the end? I just want,
Yeah, the numbers to me don't matter at all.
Other than if we ask that number to be a subsection of another number versus
Right.
being a separate number.
Yeah.
That's the only.
And that's kind of what you guys did here on,
Yeah.
on this one here. You wanted to split 4.7 out
yes,
to 2 sections.
yeah.
So I did that. Just go ahead and read that and make sure it's correct.
I really like the public policy head language.
I think that was on our old one.
Well, I think in current situation, it's really important.
So, the A,
Duty, on which one?
4.7, yeah, mayor, duty A, has authority over agenda for council meetings. I'm not disagreeing with it, I just want to discuss it because it's an issue
That Tigard right now,
Mhm.
okay, 2 months ago was
fighting over.
Yeah.
And so has authority over somehow the way it was worded, and we can look up Tigard's charter, but basically they felt
felt that, they were the only one that could control.
And so the point being is at some point, if the majority of the council wants to bring an agenda item up and the mayor doesn't, then the mayor cannot put it on that night's agenda. But then the majority of the council during a non-agenda item can bring it up and then ask the mayor and or the city manager to put it on the next meeting so staff has time to organize and bring it up, so you don't vote on it that night.
Right,
Prior mayor was, in Tigard was saying that non-agenda item
Item couldn't be used for that, and they actually removed the non-agenda item from the agenda so that nobody could bring anything up that wasn't on the agenda. So I'm just worried that,
No, we want to make sure.
we want to make sure
I
that
think
if the,
we have a
even if the
majority.
mayor doesn't want something, if the majority of the rest of the council does, that they can put something on the agenda, but it doesn't mean it has to be voted on that night. It just means it needs to be on the agenda, which means maybe at the next meeting, staff has a chance to bring it up and it can go forward.
So maybe what we can do in,
How about-
duties of counselors,
okay,
4.6, we can add a section in there saying the council can add an agenda item on there if they, by majority vote, but doesn't necessarily have to be voted on that night.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
the
Yeah.
problem was has authority over the agenda of the council meeting, has authority
Over or complete control over, or only person that has, and that's the authority over is where I was worried, is that the right wording?
I think so. I think the spirit of this, because
I-
also in here and in our code, it says the mayor shall work with the city manager to,
Maybe we should say they have the primary authority over setting the.
How about responsibility?
Or
That's where I
primary
was going.
responsibility.
okay.
Does
And
that
then
make
you
sense?
add responsibility to work with the city manager.
Because primary means the majority, but
Yes.
it
I just-
opens.
There was just,
Yeah,
I think 2 months ago, they got really sideways.
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to make sure that
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Covering
And
that.
then I also, from the council that our council that I've heard from so far is, well, we would like this to be on the agenda to at least discuss. And I'm like, talk to the mayor
Right.
and the interim city manager and try to get it on there. Lately, it's been kind of pretty good. We've been kind of working with everyone on it. But if a majority of the council wants something
Yeah.
to talk about, we can add it to the agenda, but it doesn't necessarily have to be on that night's agenda.
yeah. So if we make it primary responsibility,
Yeah,
I'm okay
that
with
leaves
that.
that,
I just,
yeah, no,
Do you want the word responsibility? Hold on. Has responsibility over the agenda for the council, or do you want has primary responsibility over the agenda?
primary authority.
primary responsibility.
I'm sorry, primary
Primary
brain fog here.
responsibility
Over
over the agenda for the council meetings.
Because
Okay.
he or she should really be, again, in the leadership role, they should be in control of things,
Okay.
for the most part.
So the rest of those I like. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
that
So,
first word got me a little.
okay, so then for, we're gonna add in 4.6, duties of counselors.
Second, yeah, D,
Yeah, we're gonna add, it's either gonna be a C or a D.
whatever,
Yeah, whatever letter it's gonna be. Council,
council. I'm kind of coming up,
majority of council.
And request.
I was trying, may request, that would be interpreted literally as the as a mayor.
and
I
that's,
can see that going wrong.
Can-
If you use request, may request something on the agenda. May vote, add,
Or just may add.
add to the agenda?
May vote to add an item to the agenda.
Maybe it is something simple and they can vote on it that night, but unfortunately, a lot of times the council, even if it's majority of them, feel they want it to get it in that night, but staff hasn't had a chance to
Yeah.
Review it, so it's,
It's always good that it does
So,
usually carry over, but it doesn't mean if it's something really simple that they don't need anything, they couldn't do something.
so what I have for the wording in that is, it's gonna be section 4.6, either C or D. Majority of council members may vote to add to the agenda,
Add an item to the agenda.
add an item. Add it.
Does that
There we go.
make sense to
Yep.
everybody?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So if I can get a motion for those, for 4.6, add that in.
Add that item, and then we'll go
And then-
back to, is
Okay.
there a motion to approve that change, add that new section, a majority of council members may
Make a
vote?
motion, then we add the section
Okay.
stating majority of council may vote to add item to agenda. Second.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor? Everybody? I'll tell you if it's somebody disagrees,
Okay.
honey. Okay, so,
And then, I guess the other thing too is,
Jennifer,
On, 4.7D,
Mhm.
it says, that the duties of the mayor is to appoint members to the city boards committee. Should that be just the mayor alone, or the whole council?
It's gonna be more defined in the council rules, depending on what type of issue it is.
what kind of board or committee it is?
Yeah, and this, I believe, is already in our,
let me look at the chart, that's Tigard's charter I've got in my hand.
I believe this section is already in our rules, or not our rules, sorry, in our charter.
I do with the charter.
I mean, I guess my question is, should it be the mayor alone that
It's,
appoints? Or should
it traditionally in other cities, if you look at the League of Oregon Cities General Charter, which is where we started before any of these even, it does. That is a role, a typical role of the mayor.
Okay.
What we have added as approved by council rules, it used to be that some cities would say, hey, the mayor gets to do it, nobody else gets to say.
Yeah.
So approved by council rules, then during council rules, they can say, okay, does it have to go for the full council for approval, or can the mayor just appoint that if
And then, so,
interim,
like-
short time thing?
And then, on that, so it says as council rules, our code is also considered part of the rules. So when it comes to planning commission, it says, the council needs to approve, or appoint those members to that.
And the budget committee.
And budget committee, basically any committee right now. And actually, I think the budget committee is state law, I
Mm-hmm,
think.
yes.
I think those two are the only two that are state law.
Right.
City has to have a planning commission and a budget
And
committee.
then for us here, it was because of the resolution that they adopted. That's the rules for this organization here, so,
So, the reason it allows it is, if it's an interim one-month committee that
ad hoc.
Ad hoc.
nobody disagrees with, ad hoc committee, that the mayor can just appoint it, can go forward.
And that's kind of what we're doing with the hiring committee on December 2nd. There's gonna be a little group here of people throughout the community, and the mayor's appointing them, so.
It doesn't have to go through a vote every.
Yeah,
It gives the mayor an awful lot of power.
I mean,
Unilaterally.
yes
If it
and
didn't
no.
have the last part, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'll defer on that.
And then, what I was going to say on, is there anything else that we are missing in the duties of the mayor? Kind of like, check signing or,
No, I think,
Well, either the mayor or the council president generally have authority to sign checks.
And as your city gets bigger, you won't have it at all. I mean, I didn't.
Ever have check signing authority.
Yeah. So, and right now,
I signed a lot of checks.
And right now, that's, I don't know if it's our best practices, because it's an audit control mechanism. Yeah, because we have, the city manager signs it, and he reviews everything, and then the mayor comes in, reviews everything, and then signs.
Yeah,
And the president usually is the second if the mayor can't come in.
yeah.
It's just more of a control, not like a controlled situation.
No.
I don't want to pay for this. It's,
No, it's the audit.
it's control of making sure that the money's going where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Your
I don't know if
insurance
that-
company requires it.
Yeah, right. Well, our auditors like it. when-
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just don't know what other cities do for.
I can
I didn't really research or look into, other duties that the mayor or presidents do. I just kind of took what we had already in our code and kind of broke it out like we discussed.
So, yeah, 4.7, to what we have, we've pretty much taken from Tigard's new charter. But like I said, by changing,
Primary responsibility.
yeah, by, has authority over the agenda, didn't work in Tigard, so we need to somehow make sure that we reword it. But otherwise, I think you look at old charters and/or charters of smaller cities, they used to have a lot more duties that the mayor had to do or be involved in. You're right, whether it's check signing or anything else. It just says signs authorized writings and records, okay? That authorized writing could be a check.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it allows them to do that. So I think that covers them all. I don't think you need to list the other ones. If you actually look at some of the really older ones, it actually said they had to sign the budget. They had to sign that, and it would list everything they had to sign. And there was like 9 things that it would list.
Yeah.
Authorized writings could be the budget. It could be a check. It could be a resolution. So I don't think you need to list anymore.
Mm-mm.
And then my other question too, because of this, I was reading that and kind of reminded me. Does this mean that they have to sign the minutes? No. No, okay. Because I was like, you don't.
No, council just approves them, and
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. And then,
as long as they've been approved, they're official.
4.7, are we good to move on?
Yes.
Do we want to have a vote on 4.7?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
I
make
think
that
we
change.
voted on 4.7 already.
No,
I
No.
do not.
4.6.
that's adding the primary responsibility for the agenda.
Motion, you moved?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That we change A to,
Add
yes, has primary authority,
primary
responsibility, excuse me, over the agenda. I second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Everybody.
All right. 4.8, duties of president, is basically the same thing that we talked about before. I did put section E in here. Says this section was added, but the conversation didn't mention the duties that would be.
I think 4.8 sounded good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like E on it because we talked about that. I actually also like D, to me is more important, is
Yeah,
That you don't,
that you're not
you're not giving up.
vacating your seat.
You're not giving up your seat. Yeah, exactly. So.
The only question I had on 4.8 was on C, it's, capitalized mayor pro tem.
Yeah.
Versus pro tem, and. Yeah, we-
Yeah, it should just be pro tem.
Yeah, need to be consistent, yeah. Either, no.
You know,
Okay, that I can fix. And then one of the things that, because we're talking about this city, and I've noticed that even in the old documents, it goes from capital C to C, or lowercase c. When you're talking about our city, it needs to be a capital C. So eventually I will fix all of those. But yeah, it's gonna.
Oh,
So, but yeah, I will fix that. I don't need a motion on that one because it's just,
Ronnie,
yeah.
if you want an extra set of eyes to look after you're done, I used to do that in Tigard a lot.
Okay, I do know that, when we are done with our stuff, it will automatically go to the attorney, so they will
Okay.
review it again. And then they will talk about it in December? January, I can't remember.
So I just,
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Are we, okay, we're gonna have to decide if we're gonna meet.
I would say
get back to that.
Okay.
yeah, but, yeah, well,
So in C, is, the 6 month is the one I wanted to discuss.
so in the event the mayor.
Is that something we discussed last time we wrote in there? I can't remember, or is it?
Remember discussion of 6 months.
No, I
And
pulled
so
that from,
And so I sort of want to go there is, the discussion 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago in Tigard was Maureen just become, can we just not vote in a new mayor, okay, and leave her pro tem for the next 13
no, we did
months?
talk about this.
And
We
I-
did talk about this
we
at the
did,
last meeting,
so-
yes. And that's why I
That's
added,
why-
yeah, that's why I added the 6 months in there, is because we did talk about that.
So
the
that
last
requires them to make a decision,
decision
okay?
within 6 months.
Right. So,
Yeah.
And just roll right on over
So,
to,
yeah, it was sort of like everybody in Tiger was, do we set in our hands and not vote somebody in, and therefore she just stays mayor pro tem for the next 15 months? Or are we required to do something? And so this, I like the required to do something.
Yes. Sorry, it took me a little bit to remember that. So we did talk about it last month, and so and it aligns with a lot of the other positions in this charter. The pro temp city manager is 6
City manager
months.
pro tem, yeah.
There was they have to make a decision to hire a city manager within 6 months.
Okay.
So it aligns
Okay.
very well. So if we keep it the same, that we probably should change the other ones if we,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that in there, and I'm glad that we talked about it before.
This just makes them do something within 6 months.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I now remember about Maureen's wonderful, but she just didn't want that nonsense. I don't blame her.
So are we good with 4.8?
I am,
Yeah.
so,
So I'm just going to I'll just make a note here. We don't need a motion. I'll just fix, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, okay. Is everybody comfortable now with 4.8 as it sits? Okay.
All right, and then 4.8, from revisions, we took,
The next one.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I have two for
Well, you did change a bunch of the shalls here.
Right, so, we took, 4-point-something C from the council duties and moved it to this section. We talked about that.
Can I raise one question? I think you were on the county planning commission when you were mayor, am I?
no, I had to, well, it was the county budget committee.
Okay.
No,
I resigned, before, but the county asked me to stay on. And so it's one of those, and if you're appointed to it's not an elected position.
Yeah,
so
It's an appointed position.
I'm wondering if we should,
So I added this in here, we have section A and section B. Section A is, no council shall hold an elected public office. And then, section B is council members will not hold positions of county planning or county budget committee, to avoid conflict of interest.
What about like ex officio status?
Like
Any,
a staff member or?
no,
or non-voting.
yeah, non-voting member, or maybe you're just there
Go
to,
to the committee meeting.
but you don't have any.
You don't vote. That's
Yeah,
what she-
usually the
I don't think the county would do that, first of all. It usually happens, like, the Chamber of Commerce will add an ex officio member as a non-voting member, usually
I think
the
that-
mayor or somebody else.
Oh,
I think that would be fine because you don't have a direct impact,
Right.
I believe.
Another thing, I was the other city's representative on MPAC as the alternate, but, and that's,
That's a little different though. That's a regional, and we do that for,
no, I'm not,
yeah.
but the point is, I'm not sure this language,
Yeah, the language is very rough, because we talked about it, but we didn't really talk about the language, so I made.
So let's go a little bit further. I like where we're coming from on B, but I don't like the word county. Okay? And the reason
Okay.
I say that is you're allowed to be on a planning commission, not live in the city of another city. So what if you're on Tigard's planning commission?
there's a non,
Okay,
No, you could be a voting member even.
they have a non-resident.
They have a non-resident,
Resident section.
Oh, they
So
do,
They
okay.
do, and so my worry is let's say I'm on Tigard's planning commission, but I'm also on the city council. There's a conflict of interest
so we
there.
should put in
Yeah,
agency or jurisdiction?
Yeah, yes, because I don't want to let them not be on a budget committee, because if they want to be on the Rotary Budget Committee, I don't have a problem with that. Okay, so that's why I want to be
So we
careful.
probably,
governmental,
Maybe we do two sections.
add, like, break it up. No agency,
public,
commission,
it has to be a public,
Agency,
public,
okay.
public agency.
So let's say you're Department of Fish and Wildlife, and they appoint a budget committee for the Department of Fish and
Well,
Wildlife.
I was
That's
thinking,
a government agency.
so what I was thinking,
I have no problem them doing that.
what I was thinking is though, for the planning section, for the planning section, is have the public agency, but then for the budget side, it would only be for county.
It's almost intra-governmental.
Because,
I also have.
well, that's actually not gonna work either, because I can technically go over to Tigard and be on their budget committee, because there is no law of
No, Tigard has in their rules that the budget committee members have to live in the city.
within the city. Okay, right now, we don't.
Yeah.
They can be anywhere.
So they have that rule already, so.
This is a legal question.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure that,
yeah. No, I understand, and I want to make sure we're not setting it up that we cannot be on
certain
state,
things.
state and regional committees.
State and regional committees, Rotary or
How
chamber.
about we come back to this one then?
Okay.
And we'll have the attorney look at section 4 point something.
Prohibition.
Yeah.
Prohibition.
Um,
But
One
I
wording
totally
might,
agree.
one wording might be, like you said, we could, planning or budget committee that would have a conflict of interest of.
Well, so here's, I would have a little, everybody's conflict of interest is a little different. That's my worry on that.
they can say, I don't have a conflict.
That's opening up a major can of worms.
So, I'll just have the attorney look at it and we'll go and,
It's above us.
But I do want to allow city councilors to sit on regional and state,
so what we can do is maybe put that in
not count,
duties of counselors, and I can add it and we can talk about it.
Because the city councilor could be appointed to the.
Tigard Water District.
yes,
They are, yeah.
Correct, so
yes.
And they're,
It's
those
a
are
regional,
regional in nature.
nature and.
Collaborative.
metro,
Right.
metro, like JPAC or MPAC. There are state committees.
Poking myself in the.
There is a state land use.
Yeah, and so, and Max is on that now, so so.
They have citizen members.
So, yeah,
So,
I get where we're coming from on that.
I do, I understand where you're coming from that one. We'll just have attorneys look at it and see if we can word play with that and.
Yeah, okay.
We'll come back.
We added, like I said, we added C in there.
That's,
I think we're okay with that one. I took out B, or
we're gonna have,
the
that's,
older B.
Yeah, C is okay,
Okay, C is good, and that's okay.
but
We
A
have
and
our old C, which will be relettered into a different letter.
were,
Yeah, our old C, we took out, the last paragraph and added, or acting city manager.
Correct.
So we did that. Now, here comes the important part. Yeah, now here's we were, and the most important one, the hot topic of the century.
What?
Section 4.9, compensation for counselors.
Can we go back to, so, on B. I don't,
Point eight B.
Yeah.
that's gotta be rewarded totally.
okay, because, I just wanted to, ask, it says they can't be on the county planning or budget committees, but I understood they couldn't be on this committee either, so.
So that was a resolution, that was worded into the resolution that the council approved.
Okay, so it doesn't need to be.
No.
Charter review is a special periodic committee.
And the reason why, at that time, the legal counsel told them not to be part of that is because of the section that we're just going into now. Correct. So basically, it comes down to, do we want the counselors to be, to get some kind of stipend or not?
I have a specific feeling, the mayor is supposed to get involved with the state mayors association. The mayor is supposed to go to,
All these little things.
they have a lot of responsibilities, the WCC, the county meeting with all of the, elected. And it's usually the mayor or the council president that does all of these things. And I remember when I was council president, with all the, Craig was so busy. I was doing 30 hours a week. And I don't think that's, most people can afford to do that.
Yeah. So my recommendation for this section are going to be a couple of things. And you guys mull on this for a while. One is I believe that we should form a council pay commission or compensation review.
Oh, I lost him. Ronnie, I'm just not hearing you.
Can't hear you.
Oh.
Oh, got it. Thank
Give
you.
me the,
Oh.
All right, Viva, let me know if that happens again.
Okay.
So the committee will, say, start in November, look at the compensations from all the other cities, not necessarily all the cities in Metro, but, comps from similar cities, places, that do pay their mayors and councilors. And then make a recommendation to the budget committee, and then the budget committee will make a recommendation to the council. And that way, we have multiple public hearings, we're being transparent as possible.
I think one of the things that would be critically important is for there to be a clear definition, i.e., the mayor is expected to participate in the state mayors association.
Right, and
You know, all
that would be
that's to take
put in.
the money.
kind of a list.
To the mayor. Well,
Think,
No, I do. I'm trying to figure out how much of that I want in the charter.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's
So, I
I
mean,
don't
we,
disagree with anything you're saying, how much did I go to the charter for?
in,
So,
in this special committee, that every one of these should be listed.
Other duties has a time.
well,
That's kind of what it is.
Actually, go back, so, I agree with 100% of what you said,
Yeah.
okay? I just want to take you back to,
Tigers, and
I like some of your wording better than what Tiger was. Tiger is way too short. It's
3.9. 3.9 in Tigard.
It just says the council will adopt by resolution or ordinance an independent review process for determining the compensation of the mayor and councilors. Okay? It doesn't say they're gonna pay them, it doesn't say they're not gonna pay them, it says it will be determined.
it's just,
I felt that what's missing in here is the budget committee.
yeah,
Okay?
because,
So I feel that the budget committee should be involved, so I liked what you worded there. Going back to your question about duties, when the resolution to pay the mayor came forward as a
that
resolution,
should be,
that stated in Tigard, it looks back and it says it will be 50% of what a, city judge is paid, and they're required to do X amount of hours, and these are lists of duties, including, and it
Listed,
All those-
go to the Metro Mayor's meeting,
meeting, go to the Oregon Mayor's meeting, go to the,
WCC,
WCCC, and it listed those in
Oh,
the resolution.
West Side Economic Alliance.
right, so those were all listed in the resolution. So it's the kind of thing is, I don't think they'd be in the charter. I think when you actually
it'd
bring
be
in
in either
the resolution to bring forward of what you're
The
gonna
only
pay them.
reason,
That's sort of explaining to citizens why you're gonna pay
pay them, because they have to do all these things.
but the question I have is, if I'm John Q. voter, well, all the mayor has to do is go to a meeting once a month. And they're not gonna have a clue.
well, that's
Well-
where,
I think back to that though, is I also, this is just, we're all different maybe, and it's fine. I like the word, the council, because
The council, to me, I don't want to say in 3 years, I don't want to change the charter again if all of a sudden
we want to pay a $50 stipend to the council too, okay? So to me, by saying the council still has to do this, whether it's because the mayor is a councilor,
Right,
okay? And the council can decide if we just want to pay the mayor. But all this is doing is basically removing the,
prohibition.
prohibition of anybody being paid.
it's not saying somebody will be paid, and
And-
it's not
and-
saying only the mayor's paid.
and then.
It just removes that.
And the other thing too, I want to say that compensation and pay are technically two different things. However, they're also the same. And this is why I'm going,
Stipend kind of thing versus,
yeah, so, and Christmas dinner, parties, our food and waters here, those are considered compensations. So our charter right now, they are not allowed to have that water unless I offer it to all the public, which I have been. So there's a couple of other things I would like to add in here. It's also in our union agreement.
where I also think, how much of that relates to the whole ethics committee?
The way our charter is written right now, it's both. So it says elected officials shall receive no compensation for service in election capacity for the city. The attorney and I read that very,
Yeah,
and so the Christmas dinners, stuff like that, it's unfortunate. Because we do want to thank the counselors for their service.
and have their
Yeah, so, found a loophole this year, so we're gonna.
So the word compensation probably isn't a good thing to use as the title even, right?
Well, so I think compensation is okay, but what we need to do is put a couple clauses in there. One saying that there'll be a committee that reviews for pay, and then, I'll read this to you folks.
and having a bottle of water, you know.
Right, I'll read this to you guys. Give me just a second to pull it up. I thought I had it up, but I guess not.
Oregon
And then,
government ethics.
That is, the OGEC thing will be taken care of hopefully in the short session next year.
Okay.
We'll see. But also the group that is working on it is closed doors, so I have no idea what's going
Oh,
on.
this is the ethics group?
Yeah,
Yeah, TEC.
give me just,
Yeah, I wrote,
Where all of a sudden you can't bring pizza into a meeting anymore.
oh,
Can't
yeah.
bring donuts into a meeting.
When I was on the,
You leave them out in the lobby and get them there. That's right.
For the you can't
Get them first.
we had intergovernmental, water board meetings. Somebody bring pizza or some lasagna or something. It was right, it was a 2.5 hour meeting, right at dinner time. And nobody had time to go home and eat, and you don't want to be eating dinner at 8, 8 o'clock. Yeah, so we get a soda pop and a piece of pizza.
Are you finding those?
yeah, I'm
Where's
finding,
another one?
I'm sorry.
And
Were you finding that in another city, or is that what?
No, it's ours. It's in the,
Oh, it's in
union-
our code?
no, it's in our union agreement.
Oh, okay.
And we're trying to,
no, that was,
crap. I guess I don't have it.
Go back on track.
Huh? Yeah.
Ever.
So,
Sideways.
Yeah, no wonder the race.
no, that's,
What's the gist of it, Ryan?
yeah, right. So basically, it says that the city can pay for, within reason, lunches, dinners, stuff like that, that the city hosts. And it gives the city manager basically the authority, or not necessarily authority, but little room to buy that.
yeah, discretion.
Yeah, discretion to invite you guys to.
Yeah.
There's, basically, it would be a policy for the council. You could put that in here. And it would help with the Christmas party and stuff like that.
So when we're talking this compensation we're talking compensation versus pay. It does get a little sideways.
Yeah.
And the general public won't understand the difference there, so.
Well, I think you could say, be able to have a bottle of water at a meeting.
Right, so, I think,
I think where I'm going with this, though, is the issue always came up, employee versus not an employee. And I
Right.
think that comes more into play, is you can pay somebody, and when you pay them, you're required to pay them on a W-2. You're not allowed to do a 1099 for them, okay? But that doesn't make them an employee, okay? So therefore, they're not eligible for
Benefits.
403B,
retirement
Yeah,
plan.
yeah.
health insurance,
or anything else because they're not an employee. And I know Micah's running into that right now, is they basically had to pull away the health insurance that we used to get.
Yeah.
Because
They're not an employee, but you're still paying them. Yeah. They're on W-2, and I wasn't allowed to do deferred comp or anything like that, but you still allowed to get insurance. Now
They're
they're
able
not
to
allowed to get
join their-
insurance.
because they came back and said, no, they're not an employee. So, I think how we word this pay versus compensation versus employee, I think somehow the wording of that, we need to be careful of.
Yeah, it needs to be clear and
That's
not embedded.
another attorney would use.
Yeah, so that's
Can
gonna
you
be,
add Can you add
ahead, Viva.
non-employee compensation or pay? Like that would, like you're saying, they're not an employee, so if you define it in there, would that help the public understand that it's a non-employee?
so, we would probably have to word it, saying, counselors are non-employees of the city, they are elected, and they don't qualify for health insurance or,
Any benefit.
any benefits.
Steady benefits.
Yeah, any city benefits, that are available to employees.
But they are entitled to be reimbursed.
They're entitled to be reimbursed and travel and stuff like that.
Whatever.
So, I think adding those clauses in there would help out, and make it a little bit more clear. And now the committee can say, sorry, we don't think the counselor should be paid at all, period.
Exactly.
That would go to a public hearing, then it would go to the budget committee and that public hearing process, and then they say yes, and then the council approves it.
So basically, let's I agree with everything you've said. I'm just thinking about how we're gonna word this in the charter. And
Yeah,
so I'm trying to figure out, number one is, and this is my opinion, you guys can have something different, is to use the word counselor versus using the word mayor, because at some point in time down
So,
the
I mean,
future, I don't wanna
we-
change that, because the mayor is a counselor, so they're.
Council members and.
Well, so I think we,
So I'm just to say that, and then I'd like the three things we have to go through.
Yeah.
They have to have a committee, you know.
Special
said it has
ad
to go
hoc
to-
committee.
Budget committee, and then it has to go to the council. So
All those things have to happen. I think we need to somehow figure out the pay versus employee versus a compensation issue. I think what we really need to look at is, are all of us okay with, number one, can any person ever be paid? Are we okay with that? And number two is, do we want it only to be the mayor or just call him a counselor now and say, allow that?
so
Number three is, what happens if you just remove the line from our old one and we don't say anything about that? I'm not saying I like that option, I'm just saying it allows that option.
it would open up more,
Yeah, so I'm just saying those are choices I think we need to hash out more than the wording of it.
yeah.
Once you have a compensation committee, they will know the right wording for.
Right, so I think, I like all your ideas. I think it would be clearer and it would direct staff a little bit better if we did leave it in instead of just getting rid of it. Because then it might be, okay, how do we do this now?
Well, okay, so if you just took out the no and put may, you know, elected officers may receive compensation for service, blah, 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 blah. Then you're just leaving it open. I'm looking at,
But how, procedure-wise, how would we, so, I mean,
but do you want to put subject to a compensation, I mean, do you want to put
I do.
that in the charter? Okay.
yeah, I think that would be good, because that would,
Not list out specifically
yes.
Yeah.
eligible.
Yeah,
So I would, this is
subject to a multi-tier
my,
review process. Would that cover it?
my recommendation would be, my recommendation would be the following, and it's gonna be rough, so, okay, forgive me. The elected officials
It's new, it's
will receive compensation for services, in an official capacity of the city, and, for,
I think add this, the language that
Part of Tigard.
Part of Tigard.
Part of Tigard, under, but it shall be done with a charter or a pay
compensation review committee
Committee,
through the budget committee and
yeah.
then to the council.
And then to the council.
And it's the budget committee is missing out of this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
I would like,
but
but the independent, if this says independent review process, I like actually independent, compensation committee.
And
independent,
that could be just citizens, non,
they're non-city councilors. You don't put a city councilor
No.
in there.
So the other thing, whether it's 3.9,
what was that, independent what?
compensation committee.
or compensation review committee. It's
Right.
just
Right.
what,
So
The other thing that and I know we haven't solved.
and go to the budget committee and then to the council.
Right, so I think that honestly should be in the charter, so in that way it tells staff and the public and the counselors, this is how it's done, period.
Yeah,
Because if we do it by a resolution, that can change with the city manager
okay.
or the
I'm
council.
I'm gonna ask a question. With the compensation of our, current council, the people on the current council, is this gonna cause a major problem? Just,
So I know a few counselors think that all the counselors should be volunteered, which
This doesn't change that.
that doesn't change that. This just gives a mechanism for us to give the council something for their service.
yeah,
if they choose, if the committee, if the independent compensation committee feels that it needs to be paid.
As the city gets bigger, the
Jobs of the councilors are
going
going
to
to
get
Bigger.
Agreed also, but back to your point is, and I know somebody would look at this and go, okay, you're saying you're gonna pay them. No, it still takes a majority of the council to even form this committee,
Yeah,
okay? So you actually have a majority of
So
the
you
people
still have
before
to
you
have
even
a
form the
majority.
committee. Yeah, you've gotta have, it's nothing saying we're gonna pay them. They gotta get through that. Then they gotta get through the budget committee, saying the budget committee has to say, well, we have money or we don't have money to even do that. So, I mean, there's a lot of steps along the way that we understand, but somehow I think everybody else is gonna need to understand. We're not just saying, we're gonna pay everybody by putting this in there.
Yeah, no, it's not guaranteed.
It's giving the
authority that through
To
multi-layer process,
review it.
to review it.
Yeah, and reviewing does not mean you're going to get it.
no,
So West Lynn says, it has a section, salaries.
The compensation for the services of each city officer, employee, council member, and mayor
Shall be the amount fixed by the council.
council as of January.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, the budget.
Not exceed.
And, the maximum amount shall be adjusted for inflation annually based on da.
So that is, so they are doing kind of the same thing, but they are not having an independent party.
yeah.
And they're,
So,
Which Tigard has in there.
so, because right now, that's kind of how we do it right now. Because the budget committee reviews everything, and then the council approves it. The only thing that's different is our code, our charter says the council's not getting paid, period. But because of the state law, for budgeting, that's exactly the way we do it. They just put it in their charter and made it a little bit clearer.
Yeah, sort of follows the rules.
I don't know that we need to put that exact
We
language.
don't need to put that exact language. I would probably put something, I mean, obviously, we probably won't get this today, but we'll get it next month for sure. Is
Don't do that, Ronnie.
I don't know if it should be in the charter or whether it should be when it actually happens. But the issue comes up is, can the current city councilor vote for themselves to get paid? Or does it take
it's gonna,
effect at the election, the next election? So
Yeah.
If they,
basically put that rule in, at the next time that person's elected, then
They can
they
get.
can get that pay.
for,
So it's, I like that aspect from the standpoint, I've seen it where all of a sudden, that person has to leave. They
can't
can't
get it at all. But to me, by getting the next election, at least
Yeah.
you're saying that they get elected again.
get, and therefore they get whatever.
All the others did. My problem with that is, let's say we pass this
Charter, we just had our election of the people, and now all of a sudden, we can't really pay anybody for another 2 years or 4 years if we do that. So is it something that needs to be in the charter, or can we put it somehow in that pay resolution where we're talking pay versus compensation versus these are the hours
hours they
Well,
have to
that's
put
a
in.
decision that would be made.
It is, but I
also worry about the,
Yeah, no, I
I'm trying
understand.
to make it easier for the council to say,
or,
hey,
and us, staff, because.
and or staff, can you raise your own pay? You know,
No,
I don't think like on the mayor to say, hey, I just abstain, and the other councilors are doing it. But I go back to the
So,
county commissioners, when I sat on the county commission budget committee, the motion to do the COLA even
at the end of the year to get their pay
Right.
to
raise was always made by a lay member. It was always seconded by a lay member. But to get a majority of the budget committee, you still had 5 commissioners and 5 lay
So-
people. You still had to have their vote to make it happen.
So, the way we would do it, and I talked to our attorney about this, is even with the other policies for the food and stuff, for staff and all that, we would have to do basically yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So we would have to discuss about who would be the yeses and who would be the nos.
Oh, okay.
So that way it would be, it's a roundabout way of doing conflict of interest votes.
Ethics question.
It's predetermined, which is the whole,
It's really difficult.
that's a curious thing too.
Right, so I mean, I don't know, who's going, I don't know. It's very complicated, it's convoluted, and, so,
But if you have that independent compensation committee, and, you know, there are some guidelines, I would assume in terms of, these are our benchmarks.
Yeah.
These kinds of cities, these kinds of situations. You have citizens on that. You also probably have a CRO, like a,
HR person.
professional, and they recommend a certain level, then the council is only approving the recommendation as opposed to determining the.
right, so,
Great. I just only brought it up because I hear other councils fight over that.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, so, it's probably gonna be Misty will definitely help,
I see.
uh,
Temporary attorney.
Missy will help, but I understand. And we've definitely a concern for different policies that are going to affect the counselors. We've also talked about, when we do like large, for instance, the TSP, all counselors have to do a possibility of conflict of interest statement saying, this could affect me. I don't know, but could. We also make the planning commission say that stuff for if it hits the whole, or, so,
And that's every city.
yeah.
I was gonna
Because they're, because they're technically residents of the city, and if it's a citywide policy, it affects them.
Yeah,
Possibly affects them.
the only reason I'm bringing that up, I don't feel it should be in the charter. I just feel is when the council starts discussing, do we want to move this charter forward and/or do they want to remove this, is they can watch this video and say, we discussed it.
Okay? And so
I want them to know that we discussed it, why we discussed it. Your answer was perfect. We've got these 3 other committees that it has to go through before it even gets to there, so it's fine that they vote for themselves. They don't have to wait for the next election. I'm just saying is, those are things in other cities that there's been a conflict over, and therefore we've discussed it, and this is the way we're gonna handle it, is you're just approving somebody else's recommendation. You're not deciding your own pay. And I think that's the biggest difference, so by having that word here on video, to me, gives the complete answer, and you're 100% correct. And so, we discussed it, and if anybody has a question, they can come back and watch this.
Yeah.
And I wish we could make it imperative that counselors do occasionally look at recordings.
I think they, some of them I've talked to, they've started paying attention, so, yeah. I think they're doing good.
Restrictions for the counselors?
Besides what's in the charter and then the code, that's it.
The code.
Probably should.
I think that might,
I think,
a little bit.
we'll get,
You don't want it in the charter.
yeah, you don't want it in the charter because it's harder to remove or amend or anything.
We could, as part of our recommendation to the council, that they have a specific, develop a list, boom, boom, that, what you're suggesting, but have it part of our recommendation to create that, because that's outside of the charter.
And I think that would also help a lot with the compensation committee, because when you're looking at the duties, that helps you benchmark, not just the job title, but the actual duties, benchmark compensation.
Yeah.
Each counselor is supposed to be a liaison to HOAs, but also go to other meetings during the year.
Yeah, yeah.
And also
So-
back to some of
The questions about, what are the expectations, you know? Are they,
And that's, so a lot of the expectations are in the rules and procedures, which we have but don't have.
Well, that's why I'm making this.
Right. So, I'm talking to, I don't know if you guys remember, Tessa, sorry, who came down here with, Jurassic Parliament. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
She can take everything that's in our code, take it out of the code, and put it in its own document for council rules and procedures, like every other city has. I love that idea.
Yeah.
I've got the okay, green light to start that project from the council. So we are going to be doing that here shortly.
Would it be helpful to that process for us as part of our report?
Yeah, so so part of your report, especially next week, is, you know, we've noticed, you can say something along the lines of, you know, there's, we all already know, is, you know, the charter and the code are somewhat in conflict in some areas. There's not enough details in the code for certain things, and then we need to do rules and procedures for the council, because what we have online that just is very basic right now. Is what's online is in the code. It's very basic, and it leaves room for interpretation. Yeah. So I think that we can do that. But to keep us on track, because we are running out of time, so for right now, section 4.9, compensation for counselors, I'm going to be working on some wording to make this work. Yeah. Independent compensation committee is the main word that we want to use, right?
Compensation review committee.
Independent compensation review.
although honestly, I don't think the word, I was an HR professional, so the review is not typically in that. It's usually called a compensation committee.
All right.
It's also, you can't review it if you don't have a policy to start with.
Right. So, I mean, we can put that in, so basically when we do the resolution or ordinance or however we do it, we'll put, your main duty is to review this, you know.
This idea.
I'll take a look at Westlands and see if I can wordplay with Tigard and Westland and see if we can kind of mush those together. And then the big question is, when does this start? You know,
Is this something?
once this pass next month,
That's right, immediately.
in January, they.
I remember when
If they get a majority of the council.
they changed the comp rules last year on the council, and it went into effect at the beginning of the fiscal year.
Okay.
Because that's the budget, it's just,
Yeah. We can do that.
yeah, that's why.
Because we, so it would be January, February. No, the committee would start in January, February, and March.
You're assuming a November election.
Yeah, I'm assuming, November 2026, because that's when they want this done, is by then.
Remember, the budget is on a fiscal year.
Yeah,
And so that actually should be the trigger for the actual payments to start.
I know, but the committee has to start before that.
No, they have to do their report.
Yeah, they have to do that, and then the budget committee does it in
Start their
May.
in the fall, when staff starts budget preparation.
He's just trying to figure out if this passes in November.
Because I can't do anything
Charter.
until it passes.
The charter takes effect basically January 1st.
January 1st, yep.
Okay, and then the council, if they wanted to appoint this committee, they could, because the charter passed.
Yep.
That committee could start right then.
And still get it done in time before the May.
Requirement for the budget committee. It still could all fit in.
Yeah, it's good. It'd be tight, but I think it's possible. We just have to stay, okay, guys, have to focus.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this? Yes or no? And it could just be one meeting saying, we don't think this is the right time, we'll wait till next year.
Exactly. And so I wouldn't worry about timing of it.
It's just
because
So I think January 1st would be, so once it passes, January 1st, or 2nd, or, I guess,
Well, technically, the chart, well, we stated in Tiger Charter when we changed it, when it's effective.
when it's effective.
And
That could be
I
December,
know
Upon
December
effective
13th.
it could upon the approval of
date,
the
30 days after.
The 30
days after. So it's the kind of thing is it was, the attorney had put July 1st, and I wanted January 1st.
Okay.
And the reason I wanted January 1st is I wanted the May election to be allowed to do something. You know, I didn't want to wait till July 1st, because then anything that happened at that May election didn't really come into play. So,
Yeah, okay, no, that makes sense, okay.
Okay.
So I'll just put January here with question mark and see.
Yeah.
So we will come back to this, in December. Next section is 4.10, which is mayor.
Or actually, yeah, it was the other. So it was the very last one, so I got it. It said charter provisions take effect when the charter becomes operative, and this was July 24.
Okay.
July 1st, 24. Because I wanted in the November election that they could elect it.
Yeah.
Or in our case, you know, the next time the mayor's comes up, they could elect the mayor.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's, I'd say January 1st is a good answer,
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll take effect.
So,
Obviously, we want to change the mayor to be elected.
to be elected by the voters.
This one all just go away?
Because we've already covered it.
I was trying to figure out,
I've lost it here.
so I wouldn't mind,
4.10.
and this is a conversation for you folks. I wouldn't mind adding an election section into our charter.
That's a good idea.
I think that's,
So basically, it says the mayor will be elected, the councils will be elected. I mean, well, it says what is already said on here, but it breaks it out to be a little bit clearer instead of in five different places.
again, for ease of understanding of the voters.
Yeah, so, I think if you guys are okay with that, have a discussion on it, and I'll just add a section in there, 4.11 or whatever, or 4.1, or, I don't know, section for elections.
Maybe it should be its own.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That way we can,
Redundancy.
redundancy.
Okay.
But I do know that the council president section down here will be basically scratched out.
Because we already covered
Yeah,
that.
we covered
at
that,
4.8.
yeah.
So yeah, just instead of having it say mayor, if we change the title to say elections.
And then election, so in that way, I think it would be clearer and people will understand it, and there's no room for ambiguity.
I don't want, I mean, it's inevitable, somebody will find something.
Oh, yeah, I found a reason to have our Christmas party sometime in December, and the counselors have to pay for their meals, period. That's the goal. So,
Do we have to pay for, all of us have to pay for our meals?
still
That's
in the
fine.
air. We're thinking about, doing a policy because the city manager is allowed to do a policy for volunteers, just not counselors.
Okay.
So we're just gonna make 4.10 or some other section, election,
Yeah.
however this plays out. Because maybe it will have an maybe it might be better if it had its own article. I'm not sure yet. I can come back to that one for
I
you.
really think it should be its own
Article.
because for John Q, again, John Q. Citizen Secret.
So let's go back.
And I think Tigard
has, go to 5.1.
And so,
We have an election.
yeah, and I think West Lynn does too.
Right. And so it's basically
all these things that we covered in these other ones, composition, oath of office, terms, vacancies, those are all under an article called elections. So
So maybe
called the Article 4, just
elections and
the city councilor and mayor,
What if we called it elections?
I don't know,
Where's my article for it?
It's, where are we working?
No, I'm looking for the, oh, there it is. Okay, so it says city council and mayor. Possibly make it,
So, look at Tiger's 5, it just starts with
Yeah.
elections and explains
it. And then,
all those other things,
okay.
and so you sort of added, that's 4.1.
Okay, so this is, okay, I like that.
Yeah, because that should be, yeah.
And then 5 point,
And then inside of that, it talks about vacancies, it talks about how you,
voted in, and
Has talks about the oath of office,
Oath of office.
blah, blah, blah.
those are all inside of
Right.
elections.
instead of calling it mayor and council and explaining elections in there, you're just saying this is elections, and then this is who qualifies for it. Just to add a whole other section election, to me, would be redundant.
yeah, that's, and that, I'm trying to avoid that.
Trying to avoid that, so.
don't want to say the same thing 5 times?
No, not really. Okay, I like that, so
Yeah.
so basically in this, we would add in
Well, just, I mean, we're gonna have most of the same stuff we've already
kinda,
worked
So
out,
we
but
would
just
do,
the actual technical
City
stuff
elections.
of elections.
okay, city elections.
And I agree, I like the
Yeah.
Sort of take what we have there and sort of make that the title, and if we need to add one or two
Two
things
things.
out of that,
Yeah, I can make that work.
we can do that.
Oh,
Because I agree, having an article called elections is way more important to a citizen.
Yeah.
They want to know, how do we elect them?
Yeah, how do we elect
Debate.
them, what's the process, why,
Why we're doing it,
Why
how
we're
often we do it, when we do it. I think, to me, that's more important than it is to talk about, do they have to go to a certain meeting?
yeah,
That, to me, that goes in the job description.
Correct. Yeah, if a charter should be, what does the citizen expect? You know, how are we able to change something at this, you know?
because,
Only in elections.
Yeah.
are we able to change
Yeah.
something?
It's the framework.
It's the
yeah, framework, yeah,
Yeah.
foundation.
It does.
I'll frequently back in.
That's
So,
another reason you want to have a checklist.
so one of these sections, because right now, the way I'm looking at it is government. So, in our current our Article 4, city council and mayor is basically what we also do for council, or Article 3 in Tigers. It has the description of the mayors and all that stuff. So do you guys want me to break that out, or am I overthinking it? It's okay to say I'm overthinking.
Well, I think we start with the election language, and I think,
Election, and then we can kind of,
and then massage into,
okay,
that makes sense.
yeah, no, that makes sense.
Like the way you guys revise the chart.
Okay, so Section 4 is, Article 4 is done for right now. For today.
We're gonna come back to the areas that we are going to tweak.
Yeah, so, Article 5 is, city officers. Viva, we're on page 6 now. Article 5, city officers. I didn't see too much to change on here, but it's really up to you guys what we want to do. Section 5.1 is appointments, and basically saying, the appointments, the city council, oh, my goodness.
We need to have a city recorder,
I was thinking about that. I don't,
because you're not,
what does Tigard have?
It says, the charter establishes 3 city offices appointed by or removed by the majority of the council. City manager, city attorney, and the judge. So we took the recorder out because they never reported.
Right, because I don't report to the council.
The old charter did say that, and so actually, when we hired a new,
When you hired
the mayor,
Carol.
I actually had to, when we hired Carol, I actually had to, when Kathy Wheatley retired, I actually had to go on the hiring committee because it said the council shall do it.
Yeah, because council,
And it shouldn't, because they don't report to the council, they still report to the city manager.
Which the manager
And the team.
reports to them. So, and that's kind of what I was thinking yesterday, because I read this section, I read this section pretty heavily yesterday too. And, I was kind of like, I mean, if the council's not going to appoint them, then what's the point of having it?
oh, it shouldn't be in there.
Right. So I could remove that.
So we,
So, and as far as I know, and I could do more research if you guys like, seeing what other cities do. I know Tiger does, it's out of there now. West Lynn, I'm not sure about.
I have West Lynn up. It's not there. I just checked.
Okay, West Lynn, doesn't have it.
I think it made sense when
When they
cities
report.
had a city or city manager or a city administrator.
Yes, and I think that.
City recorder in a lot of cities is actually the head person, okay?
Right.
And therefore, it made sense to be there, but once that city has gone past that, they've either hired an administrator or hired a manager, which are both
They're
different.
the same. Same
They are, but they're
person,
not quite, there's still a
It just
difference.
depends on how the charter's written.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then I think removing it makes way more sense.
Okay.
yep.
So remove,
Do we need to have a motion regarding that?
absolutely.
Okay.
So, well,
Would somebody move
Well, we'll see.
removal of the city recorder from
Madam Chair.
whatever, yes.
Whatever number.
So I think because this is embedded, is the nice word, in Article 5, maybe what we can do is go through all of Article
Okay.
5.
The rest of all.
Yes.
All right.
And then that way,
Yes.
Okay.
and then that, because there is a whole section in there just for the city recorder. So I can remove,
Should that be where it is? I put a question mark here.
so we'll remove except city recorder. So for, section E, the appointed city officers are the city manager, city attorney, and judge.
I don't
cross
see
out
the
city
other
recorder.
ones having that legal officer either. The other cities.
City attorney is appointed by the council.
Yeah, some of them are, some of them aren't. Some are actually hired through the city. But I would recommend highly keeping it there because,
I
it just,
understand. Yeah.
the city attorney protects the city, not individuals. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Each of the whom except the city recorder. So, I would, after municipal judge, I think a period would be there.
Yeah.
And then the rest of that, actually, hold
Now,
on.
do you want to just take the language from this, or do
Probably.
you want to?
Let me see.
Do you have
What section is it in?
Embellish.
I have to flip back and forth. Well,
Oh, they call it, most of them call it a city attorney rather than legal officer. That's the difference.
Correct.
I think we call it both in this, so if we can pick
Yeah,
one
we-
and stick with
city
it.
attorney is
Yeah.
the
It's in-
appropriate.
Wait, hold on. No member of council may assign or direct the work of any of the following offices.
So that's just a duplicate of, oh, go ahead and read that to everybody so they understand. So,
So, okay, yeah, so,
those
I
that-
don't have tigers in front of that.
Article 4, the first paragraph, it says, the charter is this charter is this charter establishes 3 city offices appointed and removed by the majority of council, a city manager, a city attorney, a municipal court judge. No member of council may assign or direct the work of any of the following offices. And it goes to city manager, city attorney, and municipal judge.
so that's actually a duplicate of another section in there, but the charter committee wanted to make sure that council understood that no one
Oh, okay, no one council.
no one counselor can direct any of those three people. It takes the majority to do it.
So I think that could be probably worded a little.
But that's a little bit nebulous.
Because when I first read that, I'm like, no member of council.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, I mean, but now that I'm thinking about it, it does, no individual member. I think that would be,
So individual council member.
okay. I like this, so I am going to add.
Well, again, it's,
Direct but short.
Yeah.
this is one of the problems of not having kept up with the charter since the city had 1,700 people.
Tigers charter was 1962, so we changed it last
With
year.
1076 is what,
Okay, so, we're okay with adding City of Tigard, that first paragraph, and then adding no individual member of council may assign.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's a redundancy somewhere else that we tell them they can't direct them, but it just reminds them, it's even more important to these three people.
Yeah.
Okay? And the other ones, we say they can't go to the city recorder, they can't go to the
Police chief, they can't,
This one is, these three people are real important, you appoint them, but it takes all of you to decide that, not
Yeah,
one of you.
okay, that makes,
so you'll massage the language.
yeah, I'll massage that and incorporate it, and then, I do, let's see here. So, what about section B?
The city manager,
No, section 5.1B.
Oh, and they're,
majority, okay.
So a majority of council may create, abolish, or combine additional appointive offices and will such, I'm okay with that one, because there might be, maybe they want to do a Bureau of Transportation at some point, and,
As the city gets bigger,
yeah, so, or, at some point, we're gonna have to do,
and have a parks department.
well, we're gonna have to have an urban renewal district at some point, but,
To me, these are the only ones the council is required to do. The other ones they can do if they want.
Aren't,
say that again?
So, the city council is required to do these three,
Correct,
okay?
correct.
If they wanted to
They wanted to make a
appoint
new,
another committee, that's under committees anyway.
no, so, well, does it say committee? I can't remember. It says, a majority of council may create.
Offices, so it's,
Oh, it's
Under
office,
An office really is, there's only those three that they're required to have. So let's say you wanted a fourth, that was just as important.
yeah, which at this point, I don't have a good example.
Right.
So they could say, okay, well, let's make actually, I do have a good one. They might say, okay, well, we're getting big enough, it might be time for an assistant city manager.
But the assistant city manager still would be hired by the city manager and not by the council. So that's
Right,
why,
so that's,
to me, it doesn't belong in here because the council's not appointing that person.
okay, what does Tigard say?
So I'm trying to figure out why we're
Um,
adding another
I don't,
fourth one.
I don't think we need that language.
Okay.
Well, that's what I was kind of saying as well.
I do like the vacancy of any appointed office will be filled within 6 months.
Yeah.
That one I do like, and we don't talk about that in
Tigers, but I do like that one.
yeah, and that's what I was saying, because I think
That one.
That one's good. We're just, and
earlier,
throw out B.
this lines with,
I don't like these.
so
The to me,
It's surplus.
So, I mean, do we have a good reason to keep it?
correct, that's my,
I don't think so.
Are there any, other cities that, can't think of a good,
important person that they,
so we have city manager, we have an attorney, we have a judge, and the judges aren't limited in numbers. You could have,
And everybody else is hired by the city
the
manager.
manager.
The city manager form of government.
What about a mayor assistant? Does Beaverton have?
Exactly this.
Exactly that? Okay.
Their new charter changed to this.
Yeah.
Okay, so, then, if you guys are okay, we can just delete
Yeah.
B. Because there's
Yeah.
no reason to have it.
By having B in there, to me,
Number one
it's confusing, but number two, I don't want them creating
No.
a new
title for somebody and saying that we're gonna appoint them and the city manager doesn't have control over them. I don't want that.
How about, so, I know Beaverton, no, not Beaverton, sorry, Portland has, like, city auditor. That's more of an election thing.
That's an election, correct. County has one too.
County has one.
But we're not really big enough. We
No.
have an outside.
That's for,
Yeah, it would fall under the elections, not under the appointment.
Okay.
I think,
I'm really trying to run my speed here,
You're
and I'm thinking,
hiring an auditor, we hire auditors, which is different, because
So,
it's an
technically-
external auditor versus an
technically,
internal
the council appoints the auditor here, because we go out
auditor.
for
But
an
it's external,
RFP.
but if you had an internal,
Yeah.
it's different.
you
Okay.
have to be a big city. I mean, Salem and Eugene have,
The auditors were
Elected.
controllers. And I become.
but you have to be a big, big city.
Yeah, so, okay, so we got rid of that.
I remove that.
The only thing I would, fix on, C is maybe, and I might do this on, all the documents, is where there's numbers, I might put in words, or where there's words, I might put in parentheses.
Actually,
Just because,
you're technically supposed to spell out the number and then in parentheses.
yeah, that's where I was going with that, because for readers,
Master's training.
yeah, so and I'm trying to think of, not the word I want.
There are several places where we've got 6 months. And
Yes, and it needs to have
So it needs to be
it in parentheses.
Word 6,
And then
number.
in parentheses.
Okay.
the number.
So I have a question about that, about the vacancy filling within 6 months. I mean, I know that's a good target, but what if you don't find someone?
Then you,
Right now, that's,
You get an interim.
so right now, so the way it works is our interim is only good for 6 months. So everything kind of lines up, and that's why a lot of people feel like this process is being rushed, is one, it kind of is, but two, it's because we have 6 months. The our current city manager has 6 months until his clock runs out, and then the council would approve another interim for another 6 months.
an extension.
But the way this is pointed out here, it says, appointed officers will be, filled within 6 months. It's saying it has to be done.
Yeah, see, I think that's a problem, because then you're gonna maybe pick someone who isn't qualified just because.
Yeah,
And do you add, or you add something about extending this?
we could do that.
That might alleviate that.
And that would be a council action. It would be done in
Right.
public meeting, saying, we've done this process, and so far, we did not like anyone, period, sorry. We would like to extend it another 6 months to,
Both, I mean, they may not be,
So most other cities don't have that, to answer that question. It's not in the League of
I
Oregon
don't
Cities.
honestly know why we
It's not in the League of Oregon Cities one. I'm okay with it here, because otherwise you can just drag your feet in forever. It's putting a little urgency in there, but there is still an out, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, that-
to put the out in here?
I think
If it can't
we could
be,
put it out here saying, like, if you've done everything that you've possibly can, and we just haven't had a good qualified candidate, which honestly,
If nobody applied,
if nobody applied, that would be a good reason.
that would be a reason.
But, this process, we had 22 candidates that applied, which a lot more than I thought we were going to get, honestly. They went through the process, did 9 people, Monday, they did 9 people here, or talked about 9 people. and then they chose 5 candidates plus an alternative
Follow.
for the next December 2nd and 3rd. So, yeah.
Or maybe something like, every effort will be made to fill the position within 6 months.
So, every effort to me means
They can
We
wobble.
put it on our website,
Mhm.
which,
you know, I mean, that's an effort. But I do like having that stayed, but, maybe with,
Subject to
putting, you know,
an extension.
council may extend this one
For
time
ratings.
for 6 months. Or we could,
It's
To,
gotta be, I can't pull it out of my head right now, there's gotta be,
yeah, so there's,
I mean, we can look at this and kind of,
Yeah.
we'll play with it and see what kind of comes up.
is everybody getting tired?
yes.
No, I mean, this is really.
Yeah,
dense.
your brain.
so,
We
Yeah.
are at noon.
We
Yeah.
are at noon here.
2-hour meetings, I think our ability to concentrate on this kind of stuff.
We can get
Right
that far.
there. Hmm? So this is really critical stuff.
So, I just wanted to ask you guys, do you feel like you need one more meeting this month in December? The reason why is because council is going to ask you folks to give them whatever you guys have by
January.
and they're going to start working on it.
We're not gonna be done.
Legal and council is worried that we are not gonna be done in time for the November 26th election.
November?
Part of the problem is we were not able to meet for 2 months.
Yeah, I do really,
So let's, can we walk backwards through those dates?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so November election means that by September 1st,
No,
September 8th or 10th or something. It has to be at the county.
I mean,
But they would take, let's say, the August council meeting, they could refer it, okay? But let's say they would want some time to discuss that, so it would be the July council meeting, so they could discuss it and or talk about it and then refer it in the August council meeting. So to me, as long as they had it by July 1,
Mhm.
is there something I'm missing in the timeframe?
I think we
Could be, okay.
We are about 2/3 of the way through this
Yeah.
process.
so, for November, I would need it 80 days. So, this needs to go to the county in August, I believe. Don't quote me on the exact month, because that's me,
I need to look at.
I haven't looked at the new.
When we have election.
The council, no matter what we do, they're going to heavily review it
Mhm.
and talk about it, right? Have some of the ideas that we put in it. So I'm assuming that is probably gonna take at least 2 months, right? So that would probably be May.
Then we need to make those revisions.
I think they would say, the council can make their own revisions if they wanted to.
Just come back to it.
Yeah, you don't,
Yeah, but-
they don't revamp,
Submit it, we're done.
To us, we're done.
After we send it to them, we're done. Yeah, we can go to the council meeting and talk at the meetings, but we're done.
Got it.
And then,
so that leaves us around April, May, that technically.
April 30, May 1st, kind of
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
That
I'm okay.
needs to be at the council, I
Right.
think, but
I think they're gonna ask for it sooner.
we'll know more next week, when, you do your presentation. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, and that's why I kind of think having a December meeting
Yeah.
is important.
Well, I was,
but I think, John, you're gone
I'm at a tax class that day, so I won't
Yeah.
be here.
Well, I'm looking at what we've got left, which is
So is there
more,
another we could come up with
it's-
instead, or?
it's departments, and it's the city manager job, the acting city, it's definitions of the judge, et cetera, and agencies. That seems to be, that's gonna be a little easier.
Yeah, so department,
Especially if you reduce it down to something even smaller.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Agreed.
It's less,
so like rules and journal, but I mean, there's not gonna be a whole lot on that one. I think,
powers
we
and
can remove a
duties
lot
of
of
the
those, I
various
think.
stuff.
financial management, this is, I actually have a question on this one. The fiscal year of the city council will begin, on July 1st. Where was it at? So, I find this one interesting, and I don't know if we're doing this. This is on section 9.2B. The city council will adopt the budget on or before the 30th day of the 12th month of the fiscal year.
That's what
Which
you
is June
do.
30th.
Okay, June 3rd, okay, I said 12, my brain went to December.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's fiscal year.
Okay, fiscal year. So I think that could be a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
saying
But my point is that I think we've gotten through the really
The dense,
gritty
the dense part.
and this should go
I guess the other part that is extremely important, that maybe if you guys don't mind staying for another 5-10 minutes, is this section down here that was passed by, measure 34.
Where are you?
On page 11, section 10.5, city resources, public rail, transit system.
Light rail, both that went in.
Oh,
So this basically prohibits us spending any city resources on public rail or transportations without some kind of vote, which I'm not against. This was done by one of our former mayors,
I know.
former councilors, she,
it's adamantly
was adamantly against public
transit.
Oh, like,
transit, because it doesn't really make money, and it's not really, it's not very well supportive of its own. Like, it's always,
Subsidized.
yeah, it's always subsidized.
I'm still looking for it, I can't,
It's the very back page.
Last page.
I could get on the right page would help. Because I remember when it got passed, because I was on council in Tigard.
It looks like just public rail, not.
Yeah, public rail. So buses are okay, stuff like that. Public rail, because I know that at some point there was some talk of trying to get it down to minimum.
Well, this is the last spoke in the wheel, and it's now never gonna get built.
So,
Well, yeah.
so let's go to Tiger's discussion at the charter committee meeting about this, is, Tiger had 2 sections that were passed. This one only has 1, okay?
Yeah.
So this section was passed in Tualatin, Tigard, and, King City, okay? They passed this section, and so just this one. Tigard had 2, one of them had a sunset, and so it didn't matter because it had already sunsetted. The other one did include this. So the discussion came up of having this, and back to your point, it's not going to be funded. If it is funded, everybody will have a vote anyway. So
And it would probably
it's the kind of thing is chances of it happening now are slim and none.
all right,
So leaving this in our charter, I was outvoted 9-1. I wanted to leave it in Tigard's charter. I was okay with removing it. The only reason I actually wanted to leave it in there, I was worried that the charter wouldn't pass if we removed. I understand. So I looked at it from a political standpoint. It didn't matter. The people didn't care because currently the people living there now weren't the ones that put this in and didn't care about it, and it's not
not gonna happen anyway. So it wasn't,
wasn't the kind of thing that really mattered. So to leave that in a charter for 10 or 20 years in the future really didn't make sense. I just voted for it from a political standpoint. If I was worried that it would affect our vote, it didn't have a thing to do with the vote. Nobody cared about that we removed it. Because it's not something going on right now. Because if it's something going on right now, they can still put it back in the charter.
Yeah.
Yeah, or in an ordinance or something.
Or an ordinance.
It just seems like very granular.
Well, so ordinances, are less permanent.
Yeah, they can change by the council.
They can change within 90 days, you know,
And that, I mean,
but,
but to me,
Everything else is really broad, you know, and this is just like super granular.
Well,
yeah, so this was,
special interest kind of a thing.
it was,
Yep.
the plan was, everything would go to do the bridge
Mm-hmm.
until it got the funding from the feds, the funding from Oregon, everybody, and then Yahoo and Vancouver kiboshed the entire thing. So the funding went away, and what was gonna happen, once that got going, then they were gonna do the final spoke, which was to come southwest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when the bridge failed, everything went, now, there's no way they're ever gonna be able to do that spoke, because every dollar from forever is gonna go to the bridge.
Right.
So would it make sense to just to take this out?
Just take, yeah.
Yes. I answer your
I
question.
move we
Yes.
take that out. I move we remove section 10.05.
I will even vote for it here, because I saw there, it really didn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? There, that's
you
just,
second that? I'm just,
Jennifer.
Because
everybody voted,
I was just worried, and it didn't matter at all.
yeah.
I mean, if you try to do it now, then maybe, depending on, because, yeah.
But the demographics have changed so much.
Yeah, demographics change yearly, but yeah, everybody moves and.
10 years ago now. No, more than 10
It
years.
was more like, this was 1999. Oh, no, 12.
12, yeah.
12. So before I was here, and that, you know, I kind of have mixed emotions on it because she just not to. So,
Which counselor was it? Oh, this.
So, okay, that's all I really wanted on that one. All the other stuff, if you guys are okay, I'll look at what other cities do for, you know, the rest of the remainings, and then we can talk about it either.
I say, I
in December, or
think
if you guys want to have another meeting in November.
I'm fine either way.
What, that, or could we pick a different date for the
In-
December?
Yeah, I mean, we can do it,
Just the 11th and 12th I can't do.
we can do the 5th, we can do the first week, or we can do, you know, the 8th, 9th, or 10th.
The 5th works for me.
It's good for me.
What day is that, a Friday?
That's a Friday.
I think so, but I have to look at my calendar. I think, I mean, unless there's a catastrophe happening.
If not, we've had too much.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, it just moves it up a week.
Is that gonna be difficult for you to get?
No, absolutely not.
That would be great, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Viva, are you good with, December 5th?
I just have to move a haircut appointment. I think I can handle that.
Oh, okay. Those are hard to do.
Can you move it to 1?
Yeah.
And Bob, are you good with, December 5th?
Yeah, I need to get a haircut too, but I'm good.
Okay,
Perfect, thank you.
all right, perfect. We'll get that, and then, I'll get you guys a draft of what we talked about today.
Good.
Soon.
So in the next, there's a lot of words in the next section, and maybe before we even get to the next meeting, if you could look at Tiger's Article 4. I mean, I think we have 2 or 3 pages here in our charter.
Yeah.
Is that many required? So look at Article 4 here, and or maybe look at Beaverton's, and or look at Westlands. I just think we get too in-depth here of what's required of that person. And I think, you look at that city manager requirements, it's like, okay,
Oh,
it's in their job description. To put it in the charter makes no sense because things change too often.
And, I mean, we could also put
yeah.
like, duties as a city manager as described in the job description.
Yeah, right.
It just,
That could be,
look at something simpler than having 3 pages of what we expect them to do.
Exactly, no, I agree with that.
as
I'll look at
Jennifer
that.
said on the other one, this is a little granular compared to the
yes,
gist. To use the same.
yes.
It's just when I read through all these, it's like, oh my gosh, really, we're gonna
Put in the charter that
they have to do that?
Anyway, that's why I was saying already, I guess this is gonna go a lot faster.
It can if we remove most of it.
And by the way, Ronnie, congratulations on your award.
Oh, thank you. And then also,
No, I
made it to the finalist list, so.
Good for
Oh,
you.
thank you. I didn't want to ask. I wanted you to tell me.
I was a little worried there for a minute, so.
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn. Second.
All in favor? We're adjourned at 12:17.
Have a good weekend.
Our next meeting is the 5th.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Viva.
Thank
Bye, Bob.
you.
Bye, guys.